This meeting is being recorded.
Cool. Okay. Let's get the show on the road. So hello, everyone. Logging in right now. It's a beautiful day. Every day is depending on how we see it. But today is one of those days in the year when we choose to exercise caution at times because we don't know when we might become the unsuspecting victim of a prank, whether silly or harmless. Happy April Fool's Day, people. I'm Ashwin and Jacob from IBS, and we are proud to be hosting the session of Toastmasters International, packed with fun and pun. So I'm just here to get the joke wagon rolling on behalf of the Toastmasters. Now, a bit of background about Toastmasters. Before I continue, maybe I'll just encourage everyone who's unmuted to keep yourselves on mute. And also, if you've registered not as per your names, please rename yourself with your actual names so that we know that you're not somebody here to play a prank on us. All right. Okay, jokes apart, just continuing with what Toastmasters is about. Toastmasters International is one of the most renowned non-profit educational organizations in the world, known to teach public speaking and leadership skills. With over 300,000 members spread over 149 countries and 15,800 clubs, this is the best place to be if you ever want to master the art of speaking confidently to a public audience. It started way back in 1924, and Toastmasters has helped people from diverse backgrounds become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. And at Technopark itself, we have a dedicated Toastmasters club, of which some of you attending might already be members. But for those of you who are not, this session is meant for you to help understand what these Toastmasters are all about. So I hope you're eagerly waiting for this great learning and fun experience. I, for one, definitely am. So I'm going to take this opportunity to welcome Technopark's very own Toastmasters to come on and engage us in this next 1.5 hours. So Roastmasters, over to you for the roast. I beg your pardon. Toastmasters, over to you to toast the day. Since this is April 1st, I guess I'm entitled to a bit of punnery. So over to you guys. Take it away.
Thank you for that energy, Ashwin. Hello, IBS. Warm good afternoon, everyone. Very glad to be here. I am Toastmaster Sruthy Meena, standing before you all as the Surgeon at Arms. As my duty aligns, I am very glad that this is an online meeting. Otherwise, I would have to take care of all the logistics for this 453 participants here today. Whoa! Let me quote the mission of a Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. While we are in this meeting, we have to follow certain ground rules. Please refrain from making any reference to religion, politics, and sex when we are speaking. Let us turn off all the noise-making devices like mobile phones or put them in silent mode. When someone else is on the stage, let us be on mute. Having said that, let me introduce you all to a charismatic lady. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. That is Toastmaster Arathi Rajeshwari, the president of Technopark Toastmasters Club. Welcoming you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti Meena, for that wonderful introduction. A little bit into the introduction, I got a little worried whether she got the names mixed up and whether she was introducing me. I'm truly overwhelmed. I hope it was not a April Fool's prank to sweeten me up, but I really take it. Thank you so much, Shruti. And thank you, dear Ashwin, for starting it off on the right note. You had done a lot of research on Toastmasters. I thought you stole a little bit of thunder from Sruthi's speech. Thank you so much for that. And my dear IBSians, we are so happy to host a 44th meeting in collaboration with your company. I have my set of Toastmasters here. The way we have charted it out today is to give you a glimpse of what happens in a Toastmasters meeting, and towards the end, tell you about the benefits of Toastmasters and how we as Toastmasters have learned and gained from it. So that's a general format for the day. I hope you would find the next 1.5 hours useful for the time that you're spending. And to do that, I have a set of very talented speakers here today who had started their journey in a very humble way, including myself. And when I joined Toastmasters, I had my doubts, what is that Toastmasters can give to me? Now, with that note, let me just get into the details of the meeting. As the president of Toastmasters Club, I hereby formally declare the meeting open. Every Toastmasters meeting has a theme based on which the meeting is done. And there is always a master of ceremony. The master of ceremony is a Toastmaster of the day, or the TMOD. And to be a TMOD today, we have an ex-IBSian, not purposely picked. By chance, he came out as the top speaker that we could pick, because Dileep, as most of you know, is an ace speaker. He is a contestant in multiple contests, and he would be representing our area in the division contest that is coming up soon. With that, let me invite Toastmaster Dileep to take forward the 44th meeting of Technopark Toastmasters, done in collaboration as an open house with IBS Software Technopark Trivandrum. Over to you, Dileep.
Thank you, President of Technopark Toastmasters, Toastmaster Arathi. Distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, and very warm welcome to my most loved ones from my alma mater, IBS Software. I would like to start with a statutory warning that object on the Zoom screen may sound and look familiar. That is by design, and you are not mistaken. This is the same old face which you've been used to for so long. I'm so glad that I'm playing the role of Toastmaster of the Day for this special open house meeting that is conducted in association with Technopark Toastmasters and IBS Software. So let me first come to some of the ground rules, or rather some of the intro bit with respect to the Toastmasters meeting. And then I will move on to what we have chosen as the theme of the day for today. Every Toastmasters meeting will have 3 parts, and these 3 parts are classified as the prepared speeches, the table topics, and the evaluations. So in the prepared speeches, there would be speakers who are going through the Toastmasters Pathway program, and they would come up with their speeches that they are delivering as part of the pathways that they're taking up. So that is section number 1. The section number 2 is of table topics, wherein you would be given a topic right there in front of everyone. You have to think for 30 seconds and then start speaking about it. You can call it an impromptu speaking or an extempore. There will be somebody who is doing the table topics master of the day to conduct this particular section. And the third and the most important part, which we all value as part of Toastmasters, is the evaluation. Again, evaluation happens as specific evaluation to the speeches and a generic evaluation to the meeting in its entirety. So to all newbies, this is a very simple structure of a Toastmaster meeting divided into 3. The prepared speeches, the table topics, and the evaluations. With that, let me start off with my role for the day of being the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day, mostly you can relate to as the MC for that day. And you would have no surprises when I am doing the MC role for this meeting as well. My responsibility is to introduce the theme of the day and quickly the word of the day, and then ensure that the meeting goes smooth and there is no chance of any surprises. I have to ensure that everybody comes and delivers their roles on time, and I give the right introductions and keep the audience completely updated to the sequence of the meeting, which I believe I'm doing right now. So the theme of the day that we have decided today, we put a lot of thought in fact, to come up with something that will fit this particular day and not IBS Software. Let me just make that veil very clear. And we wanted that to be very creative, very different. And we come up with this very creative, very different thought that the theme of the day is April Fool's Day, because that is 1st of April that is happening. Now, a little bit about April Fool's Day, right? I'm going to talk about the evolution, the etymology, how this came into place and all that. Do you think I'm going to do that? You have your Googles and Wikipedia for it, right? Why do you even sit here and listen to me talking about April Fool's Day? So the swing or the twist that I wanted to give to this tale of April Fool's Day is, what does April Fool or pranking mean to me as a person, an individual? And I would like to listen to a couple of people as we go through this in terms of what they think about April Fool's Days. For me, April Fool's Day as a child was a very special occasion where I used to, have all my brains put to ensure at least some prank happens in my house, at least to my brother or a couple of neighbors. And I really found that they all were pranked very well by me. But as I grew up, I realized that, they were acting to be pranked. So then I decided that, this is not going to work. And slowly, somewhere, this value got into me, saying that pranking a person or deliberately making someone a fool is not my cup of tea. And I think we all should refrain from doing that. Is what I picked up as I grew up. Nowadays, as I see more and more of these TikTok videos or Instagram reels, I am coming to the fact that the entire world is absolutely fine with getting pranked, giving a prank, and then using that for entertainment. Which again, as long as it remained in the limits of entertainment, I was absolutely happy with. But there are some instances, I don't want to quote the specifics, wherein I found it very difficult to digest of someone getting pranked. So when I was asked to take up this role, I clearly thought about what is that one instance where I would have really attempted pranking someone. I will come to that small story and then open it up for a couple of speakers here today to listen to their take on April Fool's stories or April Fool's Day. This incident happened when I was trying to sell off my first car. So I wanted to move from a petrol car to a diesel car and a different color car altogether. And my car had done close to 6 years and then it had served me well. So I was on a quest to find out a different car altogether. And I went to a showroom that accepts second-hand cars. Now, I very well knew that this particular brand had their own new cars as well. So one thing that I was very clear was I didn't want to go into any sales trick of this particular group. I had already made my choice. I wanted a different brand altogether. So I used the simple technique of saying one small line to that person. I told them that IBS has given me an offer to move to IBS UK office. So this car is going to be sold, and in another 1 month's time, me and my family are gone to UK. So we don't want a car. We don't want another car. So the message subtly was, no, I don't want your sales guys to call me every now and then and say that, we've got this car, there are new features. Why don't you come and do a trial and all that? So I was very clear. The drama was staged extremely well. On-site offer, permanent, long-term, family, shifting, everything was played with. And then this guy said, okay, sir, sure. So you have a good trip, all the best for your UK tenure and all that stuff. And then a few days later, he called me up and said, sir, all the papers related to your car is ready, but we have a small problem. We need to do the official ownership transfer to somebody who is buying it right now, so which has not yet happened. Your car is still at our place, ready for display and seeking potential owners. What do we do with those papers? I said, what is the problem? What do you do with those papers? I can come and collect those papers, even if it is 1 month or 2 months down the line, right? And this guy said, but sir, you will be in UK. And then, that is when it struck me. Okay, it is not about telling a lie. It is about telling a lie and living up to it, right? And I am pretty bad at it. I can tell a lot of lies, but I will forget what I've lied. And then, the prank will finally come and bite me back. So that is my story. This didn't happen on an April 1st, but that is something which I always remember, where I tried to prank someone and eventually became a prank for myself. Do you have any interesting story or connection about April Fools or pranking someone? That's question number 1. Or is there any view that is connected directly related, opposing, not opposing the April Fool's Day? That is a question that I would pose to the audience as part of the theme of the day. And looking at the time, I think I've got two speakers. I've got to give chance to two speakers who can quickly come on board and speak. Anybody can speak. You need not be a Toastmaster. So we call this in the Trivandrum Toastmasters Club parlance, we call it the round robin. So this is a round robin session where I can give a chance for two speakers to talk about their take on the April Fool's Day. Any volunteers? And being a Toastmaster, I will strongly encourage not to lose any opportunity to volunteer. So please come forward. Volunteers who wants to share their experience on April Fools, getting pranked, your views on an April Fool Day?
I have a
Yes.
okay. I have a
Yes, Maria.
pretty try. Yes. So it is not a prank, but it's somewhere, I wish for something and the universe conspired to give it to me, and it came out in the totally wrong way. So it was 3 years ago on an April 1st. I remember I was telling my colleague, I just can't wait for Friday. I just wish we had vacations like, the school kids, 2 months of vacation, bindas, no problem. And the universe really conspired, because that day evening I broke my leg and I was out for leave for 3 weeks. Bindas, I had 1 month full of vacation. I played cricket, I broke my leg, and I still couldn't figure out how it was. So today marks the third anniversary of my 3 weeks leave, and after which I was left limping for months and slowly took time to walk back. So whenever I see April Fools, now I'm very careful what I wish for. I say anything that I wish for, please take it in the silver lining side. I want to sit at home and work. I don't want a quarantine. I don't want a pandemic. I just want work from home where I have the freedom to go out and everything happens normally. So be very careful what you wish for, because the universe really conspires to get you. But the method or the modus operandi with which they conspire is not known to you. So you will get it. How? That is little difficult to say.
Thank you, Maria, for that conspiracy theory of yours, which acted and gave you some me time during that vacation. My vacation memories are always traveling to the hot Palakkad, just because my dad used to work there for a long time. Think of a family who pack the bags and go to Palakkad for a summer vacation. All right, who's the next speaker for a round robin? We have a slot for one more speaker, and maximum time is 1 minute for a round robin. And I would please prefer that to be a known Toastmaster.
I can see Leda, I can see Anjana. Anyone wants to give it a try? We would also love to see you on video. I'm sure Anjana would have a lot of stories to say.
Angie, come on. Okay, anyone else?
Leta, would you be able to come on video?
Yeah, I can come on video.
And maybe share your take on April Fool's Day.
Well, I have a little instance probably to share after joining IBS. I think 97 September, I was one of the best batch of IBS. That time, we used to have officers coming to all locations to pick us up. So on April Fool's Day, I had this call from some of the friends in IBS. It was hardly, 6-7 months right after joining. So I was told that instead of Karamala as the pickup station, it is changed to this. I even didn't remember it was 1st of April. So I took an auto rickshaw, went to Tambanur, waited there for something like half an hour. Nobody is turning up. Then I had to take the bus to Karakotam and all the way reach office. Those days you wouldn't want to, miss office by 1 hour or so. It's all, you're straight out of college and proper, you want to be there. So while going through that prank, definitely I didn't enjoy it. In fact, I was quite annoyed. I was feeling extremely bad, but by the end of the day, all of them came along. They never thought that I would seriously follow the prank and get pranked to this extent. But yeah, years later, I think these are very, very sweet memories. So if a prank can be limited to a certain extent, I think definitely it is. That's one instance I wanted to share. Good to see all of you here.
Thank you, Lata.
And Dileep, so good
Yes,
to see
yes,
you. I
Lata.
think, I think when you were speaking, just those IBS days and all those memories, planning, everything is coming to me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Lata, for volunteering, and thanks a lot for those nice words. As Sri rightly pointed out, some of the best pranks become sweet memories which we'll cherish all our lives. And I would wish all the pranks that anyone does, whether it is April Fool's Day or not, they are light in nature. It doesn't break a leg like Maria's incident, or it doesn't create any other problems to anyone else. So let's all wish a very good financial year ahead. And instead, coincidentally, it starts on an April Fool's Day for all of us. And let's all wish a great time ahead through this meeting and even beyond. So that is my initial part of introducing the theme of the day, getting to a closure. And as a next bit, I definitely will have to introduce someone who is equally important as part of the Toastmaster meeting. As I said earlier, evaluation is the most important part of Toastmasters. And to conduct the evaluation of the entire meeting, there is a team lined up and there is a team leader. The team leader in a Toastmaster parlance who does the evaluation is called the general evaluator. And today, we're fortunate to have a seasoned techie and a seasoned Toastmaster who has already been introduced by our SAA, who happens to be the founder president of Technopark Toastmasters Club, helming the role of general evaluator. So without any further delay, let's put our hands together for our general evaluator for this evening, Toastmaster Arathi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Dileep. Hi, people. I'm back as a Toastmaster with another role. A Toastmaster wears multiple hats, and this is going to be one of the multiple hats I'm going to wear in this meeting as well. I'm going to be the general evaluator for the meeting. Before I take time to explain what my role is, can I request everyone to be on video so that we get a feel of the actually meeting people? And also it will help us to create some memories. I'm sure Ashwin is busy clicking photos. So if I could see some of these faces, that's nice, Ashwin. Thanks. Thank you. As a general evaluator, what I will be doing, I will be evaluating the whole proceeding of the meeting from the start to the end, with the purpose of giving feedback to all the role players and the speakers today. In Toastmasters, we learn from these feedback. So my role as a general evaluator is that of an active listener. I would be looking out for all the people who are performing today, coming onto the stage today and giving feedback at the end during the evaluation session. And this is a big role, a big responsibility. And for helping me carry this out, I have 3 supporting role takers today. We call them the tag team, TAG, T for timer, A for R counter, and G for grammarian. The timer for today is Prakash. Prakash works in Tata Elxsi. He's a technology consultant there, and he loves traveling, reading, and is fond of good designs. Timer Prakash, can I invite you to explain about your roles? You need to unmute, or your audio is not clear. You are unmuted. Now you seem to have an audio issue. You might want to reconnect with your audio. While Prakash is sorting that out, let me introduce the next role taker, the R counter. The R counter for today is a Toastmaster Radhika. Radhika is a seasoned HR professional. She is the head of HR in Ozone Hotel. You might also know her as a vice president of BE Women in Technology. Now she's passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and she loves a good debate any day. Over to you, Radhika, to explain your role as an accountant.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's a very lovely day for all of us to connect and be together in the virtual world. And my role as an accountant, I think this is the most interesting role in the role play, because I get to listen to everyone and count the R's and the E's and all the passwords and fillers and crutches. I hope you are starting my filler words and crutch words in my conversation now. So the purpose is to note the words and sounds that I used as crutch words and pause fillers. We all do that all the time. So during the meeting, I will listen keenly to the overused words and including and, well, but, so, you know, these are these filler words that we use. I will also listen to the filler sounds. And I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as like I do this. This means again. So at the end of this meeting, I will have a report with the number of times that each speaker has used these expressions. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika, for explaining your role with clear examples so that the new guests here are very clear about what you're doing and why you're doing, because all these pauses are going to take away the beauty from your speech and is a barrier to the actual communication. The third role player is a grammarian. And as a grammarian today, I have a Toastmaster Maria. Maria joins us from HNR Toastmasters Club. She's a VP education there and a great speaker. She's also a contestant for division level contest. Over to you, Maria, to explain your role as a grammarian today.
Thank you so much. So, General Evaluator. So today, as we celebrate April Fool's Day, I am the grammarian of the day, and my duties include picking out the good usages of the English language, I made a mistake over there, and to pick out the teeny mistakes that we may make during our conversation. I have already started my duty, and I have a page filled with good usages only. The second part of my duty is to introduce you to the word of the day. So every session will have a word of the day, which involves all of us will learn, which helps us to learn a new word every week. And to share in the part in the agenda, and the word is bamboozled. Bamboozled. Sounds a little weird. It sounds a little funny, and not something that you would use in a client mail. I was bamboozled by my tester. No, you wouldn't use that, but there is a word, bamboozle. It means to cheat or fool. And all the Friends fans out there, I guess you can, relate to this, bamboozled. So I urge all of you to use the word bamboozle. And that's it from the grammarian side. Over to G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria. Back to you, Prakash. Is your technical problem sorted out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you. Can you explain your timer role now?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And thank you, Toastmaster Arathi. As timer, I'll track the time of all the speeches, which include prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. I'll also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red backgrounds. For example, for table topics, the speaker get 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll change my, just quickly do a demo of that. I'll change the background color to green. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll change the color to yellow. And 2 minutes, I'll change the color to red. After that, you'll get 30 seconds as grace period, and you can wind up that speech at that time. For prepared speeches, The allotted time is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll change the color to green color. At 6 minutes, I'll change the background to yellow. And at 7 minutes, I'll change the background to red. And there will be also 30 seconds grace period time there. For evaluation, that allotted time is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, the background will be changed to green color. And 2 minutes, 30 seconds, the background will be changed to yellow color. At 3 minutes, the background will be changed to red color. And that's it. I'll come back at the end of the meeting when called upon to give the report. Thank you, and back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Prakash, for clearly explaining your role. This is a key role. Remember, meetings that go on and never end. This timer role is the antidote for that. We always have timer to time our speakers. With that, I will be back with the team during the evaluation session. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Dileep, to continue with the meeting.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Arathi, and all the role players of the tag team, the timer, our counter, and grammarian, for making your roles and relevance of those roles very clear to the audience. Now, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, we're moving on to the proceedings of the meeting where the part 1 is going to get addressed. The part 1, as I said earlier, is about prepared speeches. Now, in Toastmasters, how it happens is when the prepared speeches are delivered by speakers, there will be an evaluator who listens to them and gives them their feedback on how the speech can be improved to the next level. And for that, we would need seasoned evaluators in place. And that is one beauty of this initiative of Toastmasters. Today, for our prepared speaker, we have just one prepared speaker for today. And for that prepared speaker, we have an evaluator coming from a different club altogether. Now, let me take this time to introduce the evaluator for today. When we asked him his take on April Fool's Day, he had a very amusing statement. He said, I get bamboozled by the notion of celebrating Fool's Day. Either we are a fool every day or none at all. I really loved that statement coming from the evaluator. He is a Toastmaster since 2002. That probably is my total industry experience. The highest degree in Toastmasters is a distinguished Toastmaster. And this gentleman is a double DTM. So 2 times he has achieved the DTM award. He is a member of 2 clubs and a mentor to many. Currently, he serves as the director of Division K of District 121 of Toastmasters. Division K director, double DTM, that doesn't end the introduction about this person. IBSians, please note, he is an aviation professional with more than 2 decades of experience with world-leading airlines, Emirates and Qatar Airways. So let's put our hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Safir Azeez, who is the evaluator for today.
Thank you, DC. I think you are known by DC more than Dileep from the comments that I have seen in the chat window. Thank you for that wonderful, awesome introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests from IBS family, warm good afternoon. In Toastmasters, we don't have teachers or trainers. We improve in or from every meeting based on feedback that we receive from fellow Toastmasters. So today I am the evaluator. Tomorrow when I present a speech, one of you could be the evaluator and give me feedback regarding my speeches. Typically, as a Toastmaster of the Day DC mentioned, we evaluate speeches based on the guidelines provided in the Pathways Educational Program. Today, our speaker is doing a general speech, not particularly a project from Pathways. When we say a general speech, it is a normal motivational speech, which is typically presented in speech contests. So as an evaluator for a general speech, I'll be looking for the key takeaway message, the speech organization, the speech delivery aspects, including body language, vocal variety, and also the use of English language. I wish the speaker all the very best and look forward to hearing her speech as well as evaluating her later on. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Azeez, for explaining the objectives of the evaluation. Now, friends, it's time to listen to the speaker. Let me take a little bit of time to introduce this very special person in front of us today. Remember those youth festival days where you go to the youth festival to compete, and then you will always be looking forward to someone who comes in front of you and does an excellent speech, and listening to that person or listening to that person perform or seeing that person perform is an absolute delight. This is somebody whom I met 2 years back as a competitor for me. And from there till now, I've enjoyed every time she's on the platform and she delivers a speech. With a lot of love and respect, let's put our hands together for our speaker, Toastmaster Meena, who's currently working with Tata Elxsi. Toastmaster Meena, I believe it's the same speech title as we had earlier. Can I confirm?
No, Dileep, it's the other side.
The other side. Okay. Toastmaster Meena, the other side. The other side, Toastmaster Meena.
There are two ways, my way or the highway, said my mother. I didn't have the heart to tell her that. I would have taken the highway if I had enough money. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, my dear friends. My mother gave me this ultimatum because she had a lot of expectations about me. Her expectations hit the sky like a rocket when I became a computer science graduate. On the contrary, my expectations about myself were slightly different. I wanted to be a teacher like Anne Sullivan. I wanted to find a Helen Keller for myself and then become the Anne Sullivan of India. Fun fact, in India, you are either expected to be Mr. Bill Gates or Dr. Indira Hinduja, irrespective of your passion. To make things worse, I got campus placement in Chennai. Imagine that. To do a job that you absolutely hate in front of strangers all around you. No. N-O, no. I tried every trick in my book to convince my parents. Talking, arguing, shutting down. Nothing worked. I lost pathetically in front of a unique parental weapon. Emotional blackmailing. That was the most difficult time of my life. Have you ever faced such a difficult time in your life? When did you feel that you were being pushed to the other side by the gigantic waves of life? That was Chennai for me. I became hopeless and I became helpless. Every day, I woke up with a penetrating frustration in my mind. The single question that I could ask myself was, how can I change the course of my life? How? I asked this question to the one with all the answers. YouTube. YouTube showed me multiple self-help videos. What did these videos tell me? That I am an amazing person. I got this. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? I packed my bags and left. Correction, I almost left. That's when I got a call from my father. With much hesitation in his voice, he asked me, can you take a housing loan for us? Ouch. Reality strikes us hard when we are least prepared for it. My parents had spent all their money on my education. Result, I was an engineer, but my family didn't have a home. And in a voice said, enough. That day, I hit rock bottom. That day, I stopped my whining. I should make a choice right now. My happiness or my parents' happiness. And I chose my parents' happiness for the time being. I will continue in this job, pay back all the debts, and then once it is done, I will resign the job and do whatever I want with my life. But then I didn't. It has been 10 years ever since that decision. During this time period, I fell in love with my career. The very same job that I hated back then helped me to stand back upon my feet. That very same job I blamed back then helped me to identify my passion, public speaking. The very same job I cursed back then gifted me an engineer husband who almost thinks like Bill Gates. So my family is happy too. I feel immense gratitude towards all that situation which put me on this spot. Because back then, if someone told me that, hey Sruthy, you know what? On April 1st, 2022, you will be delivering a speech in front of 50 plus people, most of them from IBS unknown to you, I would have responded, April Fool, the joke is on you, ha 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 ha. Rather, I was bamboozled by the world's infamous prankster, life. Life pushes us to the other side when we are least expected, when we are least prepared for it. That other side may seem unfortunate, unfamiliar, and uncomfortable for some of us. What we fail to notice is that we are being pushed from our old self towards a new one, a bigger, a better, a tougher self. What we fail to notice is that we transform. We are being asked to expand, to evolve, and to emancipate. When I am being pushed, I change. When you are pushed, you change. We all change, and we change for good. Once that push is done, we are no longer our old self. I will see you on the other side. I know I will see you once more. I will see you on the other side. I will see you on the... Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sruthy, Meena, for reminding us about the other side and also reminding us on our home loans. Friends, it's not a simple thing to come up with a script, even if it is for 7 minutes, and to have a lot of nuances about the day and about the audience incorporated in this. I believe this lady Toastmaster deserves a round of applause from all of us. Thank you once again. And with that, let me move on to the next section, which is section number 2 of the meeting. This is that time where anybody who's walking into a Toastmasters meeting will have a lot of troubles, believe me. This is that time where someone who is a table topics master comes in front of you and throws topics in front of you, and they can bamboozle you by giving you something which you've never thought of. You always have a choice. You can say, I'm not comfortable with this topic. Can I get another one? So that is one option that you have. Or as a leader, as a Toastmaster, just march ahead, pick up what you got and start speaking about it. You get 30 seconds to do the thinking and start speaking. Oh, wait. What am I doing? Am I stealing the thunder from the table topics master of today? The table topics master of today is yet another powerful lady who I always see with a lot of respect and admiration. She is a seasoned software professional, having worked with multiple organizations outside and inside Technopark, currently working in the quality assurance team of H&R Block. She is a distinguished Toastmaster again and is a seasoned table topic speaker. Who other than distinguished Toastmaster Sreeja Sasidharan would be the best fit to run a table topics session for us today? Let's put our hands together to welcome DTM Sreeja Sasidharan.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster DC. So that's your new name, isn't it? A very good afternoon to all the people here who have joined us from IBS. It's such a great pleasure to see that we have at least 41 plus associates over here. Now, if you're sitting over there enjoying listening to the speeches, great job. But then if you think that you can just get away by just sitting back and listening to the speeches, you've been bamboozled. DC already broke that suspense, but here I am as a table topic master, and I'm going to make sure that all of you come here on stage and try to speak. Now, what is table topic, you ask? Table topic is what he already explained. We're just going to talk about simple things in life, but what we're going to speak about is a thing of mystery, because that I will display or tell you only when you have nominated yourself to be the speaker. So you actually don't know what you have signed up for. You never know, you might just get bamboozled. All right, with that note, may I request you to please raise your hands so that I can give you the topic. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. All right, if you will please raise your hands, I can see your hands raised up. Come on, IBS, this is where you take that one step and not think what others will think about me, and not think, what if I don't say anything? All right, now I'll give a couple of seconds for, okay, I see. Is that Cuckoo? What a nice name. All right. Okay, so she's already raised her hand. However, I missed out on something and by not telling you, but I put it there on the slide so that all of you can see it. Now for table topic, there are some small rules. The rule number 1 is you need to speak for a minimum of 1 minute. Now, how will you know if it is 1 minute? That's the responsibility of our timer, who will change his background to green. So the moment you see green screen, you can understand or assume that, I had spoken for 1 minute, which is a great accomplishment. But you can keep on speaking and go till the yellow light, which comes at 1 minute 30 seconds, and even at the red light, which comes at 2 minutes. So if you have successfully spoken till 2 minutes, you will see the red light coming over there. We give 30 seconds for you to gracefully wind up, and that's why you get a total of 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes 30 seconds. Please make sure that you use the word of the day, bamboozle. Now, it's not an easy task, because I'm sure a lot of you are probably hearing it for the first time and you do not know what the topic is, but that's all right. We're all here to give it a try. All right, so let's go ahead with Cuckoo. May I ask you to select a number? So from the screen, can you please select a number? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll go for 3.
3, all right. And your topic is relax, take life lightly. Relax, take life lightly. Over to you.
Okay. Can I start already?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Relax and take life lightly. Nice topic for a day like today. Not a good day to relax, because you're always on your toes, not knowing what's going to happen next. Well, I would like to take you all back to a little story of mine from childhood. This was when, and also let me tell you, probably the only person who's pranked me and who's been able to prank me all the time is my father. So, and this is almost all the time when we were children. My father had this one prank that worked like clockwork always. And that was every time we were sleeping on April 1st, every morning. That's usually a holiday. So April 1st is usually the time when holidays have started. And my father would come up. He's generally a very busy person. And, he really rarely has time for us. And mom's the one who wakes us up. And this time it was, and we are never, expecting that dad would come and wake us up. But every time he did, and still we used to fall for the same trick. And the trick was that he would wake us up and say, there are monkeys in the kitchen. I know it's a really lame one, but we fell for it every single time. And this happened for at least 4 or 5 years. Yes, obviously that was before I was a teenager, or maybe 10 years below that. But that worked for at least 5 years. And probably that was the time when I could see my father relax the most. He having real fun pranking us, bamboozling us, and making us realize that dad also has time for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Such a beautiful experience that you shared with us. And I just wanted to say it's not lame. That proves that fun hides in such simple things where, we need not think so much. So thank you very much. And congratulations on reaching till the red mark. So that's generally not something that we see often. So I'll say congratulations to you. All right, I'll go to the next person. I did see a hand raise. I believe that was Ashwin, but I don't see it anymore. Right, so there he is, Ashwin. Moderator, can you please spotlight Ashwin? And Ashwin, I hope my screen is visible to you. What number would you like to select?
4 looks good, so I'll take 4.
Okay, so that's 4 with specs. Your go-to April Fool prank, or you can also tell us about a prank that you always fall prey to. Over to you.
Thank you for this lovely opportunity. So an April Fool prank, that's going to be very difficult. See, none of the pranks that I play is usually dedicated to just one day, right? Like how Mother's Day cannot be one day. I don't think the world is small enough to be pranked on one day. So my pranks go throughout the year. I'm known for my pranks and the way I bug people, irritate people, and make people laugh. Usually, I do a lot of impersonations. I bring in a lot of flair to what's happening around by picking out how people, go wrong in the way things, in the way they do some of these things. One thing that I've always worked on as a prank is to hide things of utmost importance of various people, right? So this one time for my ex-boss, so Prakash, who's no longer with IBS, of course, he was a CFO of the organization. One of the pranks that I did was to hide his laptop charger, and he had a very important meeting that day. It was a challenge given to me by my team, and it's not something that turned out really good. Although Vikash was a sport, he ended up running out of juice for his laptop, and I ultimately had to return it back to him. So even the CFO is not safe from me when it comes to pranks, and that's generally how I roll. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashwin. So we will be extra cautious should we get a chance to meet you. We never know what's coming our way, right? And it's such fun that you made your CFO run, right? So that's amazing. Cool. All right. Thank you very much. And yes, I see Adra, who has already raised her hand. Thank you very much, Adra. I'm just going to share my screen. Meanwhile, moderator, please spotlight Adra. What number would you like to choose today, Adra? 1, 2, or 5?
1.
1, all right. She's someone who goes for the first spot. Adra, how will you convince your teacher that your pet ate your homework? It needs some creative juices to flow down. How will you convince your teacher that your pet ate your homework? Over to you, Adira.
Okay, now that's a very difficult topic because I believe I was a very sincere student throughout school. I have always done my homework. But if I had a chance to convince my teacher that my pet ate my homework, then, well, at first I would act, or at least I'll try to act very serious and sad and tell her that, her or him, that that I forgot to bring my homework, of course. And then when she or he asked me what happened, I would weave a story saying that Jimmy, my pet, did not get his daily pedigree breakfast today. So he had to eat put that Amma makes. Nobody in the house likes put. So Jimmy had to eat put. So he was very annoyed, and so he didn't get his pedigree. So he decided to take revenge and eat my breakfast instead, which was the first thing available because it was lying on the hallway without any ownership claimed, because that's how I'm kind of careless. So I would say that he ate my homework because I was put for breakfast and he did not get pedigree, and so he was annoyed. So is everybody in the house. So yeah, I guess by then my teacher would be convinced and she would let me go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adira. Now, you said you were a sincere student, and once in a while, if a sincere student, even if they go and lie, I'm sure your teacher is going to agree with it. All right, before I go to the next person, I would like to ask the timer. Timer, do we have time for more table topics? Timer Prakash? May I go for one more topic?
Yeah, we can go for one.
All right, I would really love to do that because Sharath is here and has already raised his hand. Thank you very much, Sharath, for being a sport. We would love to see you. You are not on camera, please. Okay, there you are. All right, Zoom moderator, please spotlight Sharath. And Sharath, which number would you like to take, 2 or 5?
I will go with 5.
5, all right, 5 it is for you. And it says, tell us about a joke that was played back on you. Tell us about a joke that was played back on you.
Okay, so I will go like this. When I was in college, I sometimes used to prank my friends. So one time I pranked my friends that we don't have televisions and all things in our hostel. We actually I studied in Tamil Nadu, so there is no televisions in our hostel and thing. So it's all the rumors that we hear and we just spread around. So one time I just spread the news of that our Atal Bihari Vajpayee got an accident and he was in hospital in critical situation. So then it was spreaded like anything, and then all realized that I bamboozled them. So, but later it came back to me. So when it came back to me, one day night we are actually watching the chatting with our friends, and then one person called, that our Sonia Gandhi died in a helicopter crash. I said, why? How? So he just went from election campaign, then he suddenly, so I just literally, that Rajiv Gandhi also died in that same situation, Sonia Gandhi. So I just running and confirm that whether it's correct or not. Then I realized that I also bamboozled by them. So that's all. Tit for tat. What can I do? That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Sharath. So yeah, he who digs a pit for others falls into it himself is something that you proved. Thank you very much. We all enjoyed all the table topics speeches that you gave. Table topics is a short way of making sure that that heartbeat that increases, the sweaty palms that come, that lips that quiver because we are going to talk about something unknown is being taken care of gradually, because you will be participating in a lot of on-the-spot topics. So thank you very much. I enjoyed the show because yeah, I was here right now on the other side and enjoying it. I hope you also enjoyed by coming up on the stage and taking charge. Thank you very much. And let's go to the next part, for which I will give back the control to the TMOD Toastmaster Dileep.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sreeja Sasidharan, for gracefully conducting the table topic sessions and making all of us understand how we can have our speaking impromptu done. And a round of applause to all those speakers who volunteered to become table topic speakers today. We're moving on to part 3, which is the evaluation. And for evaluation, we would need our general evaluator to come back and take charge of the virtual stage so that she can go over the prepared speech evaluator and reports from the tag team before she finally comes to her report. Over to you, Toastmaster Arathi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Dileep. I'm back on the stage now to start the third session, which is the evaluation part of this meeting. So this is where we reflect on how the meeting went. And let us start with the evaluation of a prepared speech. Before I go to the evaluator, can I ask timer to go read out the time for Sruthy?
Shruti took 6 minutes, 40 seconds, 48 seconds.
All right, well within time. Thank you, Prakash. Now, can I call upon her evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Safir, to be on stage and share the feedback for the beautiful speech that Sruthy delivered today.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Arathi. Let me start with on a congratulatory note for a well-delivered speech by Toastmaster Sruthy. Now, what did I like most about the speech? Quite a few. Number one was the script itself, starting with Anne Sullivan bringing in Bill Gates and Hinduja, using the word bamboozle, helpless, hopeless, the gigantic wave of life, unfortunate, unfamiliar, uncomfortable. It definitely shows that you have spent time on scripting the speech. The gestures, lot of expectations, hit the sky, slightly different, back then, all naturally weaved into the speech. For most of the 6.5 minutes, you had a good smile on your face. The facial expressions were great. The eye contact was satisfactory. And the facial expression, especially when you mentioned my way or the highway, was brilliant. Now, a fourth point, the mechanisms that you use to add stress. Repetition of a word, no, N-O, no. And a slight pause just before the usage of emotional blackmail. It added enough stress or enough pressure to the speech at that point in time. Now, these are all the points that I liked. The organization of the speech, starting with my way or the highway, Anne Sullivan wanting to quit the job, the family issue coming in, selecting the option between your happiness and parents' happiness, 10 years, husband, the subtle message that there is good on the other side, it was satisfactory. Now, a couple of points from my side for further improvement. And this is basically my take. I'm sure that you will listen to a lot of feedback and you will be able to judge between those feedback and incorporate them in your future speeches. Number one, while there was a general good flow of your speech, there was no chance that you gave to the R counter to count any R's or ums or anything. It was a good flow. But what I thought was that the transition between the different stages of your life got lost in that continuous flow. Yes, you use pauses and repetition of words to add stress to a certain statement or sentence, but I would have love to see a pause when you transition from one segment of your speech to the other. For example, the issue of the housing loan coming in. A 5-second pause there would have helped the audience also transition from the initial flow to an issue, and then probably later on, what is the solution that you came with it. So that is one aspect that you would want to work on. You could appoint different mechanisms to bring in that transition or the difference in the speech content. But that's something that I would have loved to see in the speech of yours, Sruthy. The second aspect, which I mentioned during the introduction of the speech objectives, is that after hearing your 7-minute speech, what is it that you want the audience to do? You could do a speech to inform. And I think today that is what you have achieved, no issues. But when it comes to a contest speech, when it comes to a general speech, it would be always good to leave the audience with at least one action for them to take. Is it to relax and take life easily, like the first topic that Sreeja brought out in the table topics? Or is it to think deep each time you have a difficult decision to make? What is the take-home message? What is the action that you want the audience to take after listening to your 7-minute speech? I thought that was missing. You had an opportunity to bring in that because you took only 6 minutes and 48 seconds, which left you with at least 30 seconds more, because you could go up to 7 minutes and 15 seconds or 7 minutes and 29 seconds. So you could have taken another 30 seconds to stress onto that particular message rather than just abruptly ending with that poem or the song that you sang. These are two suggestions from my side. One is to work on the transitions, and the second is to stress on the take-home message. Sruthy, you are a brilliant speaker. Your language skills, your gestures, body language, vocal variety, all of those are brilliant. You add these couple of minor suggestions from my side, and I'm sure that you will be a champion for all of us in the coming years. Wish you all the best. I hand you over back to the General Evaluator, Arathi.
Thank you, DTM Safir, for a very detailed evaluation. When we listened to the speech, we thought there was nothing more to learn from it, but your detailed analysis gave, I'm sure, had a lot of takeaways for Sruthy to improve on her speech. I felt like sitting for my performance appraisal, but here with a positive takeaway. I am not really worried. Thank you so much for giving us your valuable feedback. With that, I move on. I'm conscious of the time we are running behind. So we'll keep the rest of the evaluations very crisp. Timer, can you just very briefly give us the timing if anyone has disqualified for the speaking round, the round robin? Over to you, Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster. No one was qualified.
Disqualified, yeah.
So, yes, one was disqualified.
Right. So everyone spoke for at least
More than 1 minute, yeah. Kuku took 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Ashwin took 1 minute, 30 seconds. Adira took 1 minute, 25 seconds. Sharath took 1 minute, 43 seconds.
That requires a round of applause to all non-Toastmasters who went on stage, picked up a random topic and could coherently talk about the topic. That is a great job. Thank you for volunteering. And I'm sure that IB has some goodies for the best speaker today. Ashwin, can you please share your poll to select the best speaker? You can put that in the chat while we continue with the rest of the meeting. We will select the best speaker, and IBS has gracefully agreed to sponsor the gift for the best speaker. Wow. Now let me call upon the counter Radhika for a quick feedback.
Thank you, Arathi. The role today was very easy for me because the filler words were very, very limited, very few and in between. And if I look at the names, Ashwin, Sruthy, Dileep, Maria, Arathi, Sreeja, all seasoned Toastmasters, I were keenly listening in to count the R words or the filler words, but I couldn't. Well done. And then we did have the speakers. Prakash, yes, he did use R in the last few minutes, probably because of some confusion at the moment. So I also heard Safir using R and in repeatedly. Other than that, Lata, she had used R and so a few times. Ashwin, Atira, and Sharath in their impromptu speeches used a couple of filler words and filler sounds mostly. That was frequently used by Atira. Right was Ashwin's favorite word. And otherwise, it was a power-packed, very meaningful discussions and debates everybody has put forth. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika, for calling out these blind spots of us. I'm sure we would have spoken on many stages and not realized that we have such blind spots. Thank you for actively listening and calling that out. Can I call upon my grammarian, Maria, to come with her quick and crisp report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi. That was like a warning. It should be quick and crisp. So I'll fly through my report, starting with Ashwin. Exercise caution, joke wagon, I for definitely one, and roast master, beautiful usages, not a single grammatical error. Moving to the sergeant at arms, Sruthy, duty alliance, good. You said put them in silent mode. It should be put them on silent mode. Arathi, overwhelm, right notes, stole the thunder, beautiful usages. But one mistake, myself, it should be myself. Your singular, myself, and give to me, give me. That would be better. Another beautiful usage, coherently, blind spot, sorting that out, and I could go on and on. Moving on to the TMOD of the day, that is DC. Beautiful usages first, alma mater, statutory warning, wherein instead of, you said wherein instead of which, in which you get about the table topics. That was good. Not my cup of tea, on a quest. One tiny mistake that I found was you said in 1 month's time, we are gone. It could be we will be gone, or we are, we are not there. So it is in the future. So we will be gone. Drama stage, their take, helming, nuances, and you use the word of the day once. Our counter, there was nothing till now, and you just missed one thing. I was keenly listening to, so that was that you missed the was. Timer, nothing else. Safir, you said congratulatory note, and I had a lot of good usages, and I'm sure you know which are those good usages. Shruti, there was a pronunciation mistake. You said gigantic, it should be gigantic. Other good usages was penetrating, frustration, rock bottom, and you use the word of the day, and emancipate. Sreeja, word of the day twice. Thing of mystery, gracefully wind up, creative juices, and lips quivering. That was a good usage. Cuckoo, your table topics was amazing. On your toes, clockwork, and word of the day once. Ashwin, go throughout the year, good usage, flair, various people. I think it could be I hide different people, and I would reiterate what Srija said. Please, we'll be very careful with this prankster Ashwin. Was a sport, and one mistake that I would point out is you said return it back. It should be return it. I would return it to that person. Atira, we were story, good usage, and it was on the hallway. It was in the hallway. Sharath Krishna, you said Vajpayee got an accident, met with an accident. Spreaded, the past tense of spread is spread itself, spread like wildfire. And when it came back, when it came back, you said when it came back. Word of the day twice. I also got tit for that was good usage, and that's it from the grammarian side. I hope you understood something. Because I was
Thank you,
like,
Maria. Thank you,
it.
Toastmaster Maria. When I asked you to be crisp and short, I thought you would pick up 2-3 words and stop. But you went on like the padipist who will never return the last sheet of paper, writing, and the teacher had to come and pull it. But it was an excellent report. I was grinning all the time. Thank you so much for actively listening and picking it up. Great job. Now that brings it back to my role as a general evaluator to give a feedback of the meeting. I think the meeting went very well. We started on time. We had 5 minutes for networking. Then we started with the introductions all done very well. We had one technical glitch with the timer not being able to talk, but the general evaluator, yours truly, handled it very well, and we did manage it. So that went well. I'm sure there are no other hitches or glitches that people on the meeting saw, even though behind the scenes we did have last minute changes, but great team, nobody in the meeting came to know about any of the other problems. With that, I'm winding my report as a gentle evaluator and handing it back to the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Dileep.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Arathi and the entire tag team for being so observant and ensuring that we gain through the feedback. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to conclude this piece of the meeting and then hand it back to our area director, who happens to be the General Evaluator today as well, to talk about what Toastmasters is and how you can get the membership. But before I do that, let me quickly conclude what we started off with. We all started off with being pranksters, doing pranks, telling lies, how some of the pranks and lies bite back on you, right? I think it is important to understand that there are certain days which are earmarked for certain celebrations. We all know that those days, or whatever we do on those days, should not be restricted to those days alone. I believe whoever was behind April Fool's Day would have put it together thinking there should be one day for friends or family members to prank each other, enjoy those slight moments of happiness, and let them be memories all over throughout the life. I think that was the message that everybody who had started this would have had in their mind. But let us all take this with a little bit of a pinch of salt. At times, pranks go overboard, and let us not fall prey to any such exercises, and let us not take any damages that we get out of those pranks into heart, and then talk about or whine about it for the rest of the life. So with that, I would like to draw this special Toastmasters meeting, which was an open house with the IBS included, formally to a closure, and hand over the baton to our President of Technopark Toastmasters, General Evaluator for today, and Area Director for Area G1 Toastmaster Arathi, for her closing remarks and a session on Toastmasters.
Thank you once again, Dileep, for converting this Toastmaster meeting into a very light and easy and enjoyable session for all of us, the Toastmasters and the IBSians, and making it a wonderful session so that they got a glimpse of how a Toastmaster meeting happens. With that, may I remind the people on the call to please vote for your best speaker. An award awaits the best speaker. And we have got 13 votes right now. I definitely see more people. Please vote for the best speaker so that they can walk away with a prize that is sponsored by IBS. Now we have 8 minutes more. Probably I'll take 10 minutes to spend a little bit of time on explaining what Toastmasters is. Now, did you enjoy this meeting today? Can I see some emojis on your screen, on your chat window? Great, thank you. I can see some heart symbols, some thumbs up, some hands. Thank you so much. So this is how a typical Toastmasters meeting happens. On every week we meet, and there is an engaging theme where people are encouraged to talk on very simple topics. Now you saw how the format of the table topics happens, and that encourages us to give a supporting environment for everyone to speak. Now, if I can show you a few slides, probably take only 5 minutes to show this. Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization started in the US by Ralph Smetley with the aim of promoting public speaking and leadership skills. The tagline is Toastmasters, where leaders are made. Now, all thanks to Sreeja for this lovely presentation. Sreeja, I'm borrowing this. Now, a Toastmasters membership is like your gym membership on two aspects. One, you need to practice. You are repeatedly what you do. If you have a skill that needs practice, you get better at it. I'll come back to the second part of why we call it to a membership, to a gym membership. Now, what happened in the Toastmasters meeting? We saw there was a table topics master, and people were encouraged to come and talk on an ad hoc impromptu topic for 2 minutes. You're practicing your public speaking without any preparation for 2 minutes. Eventually, you can become a prepared speaker who goes on to give a more prepared speech on a topic that the person chooses. There are different role players where you saw a table topic master, a speech evaluator, a general evaluator, timer, R counter, grammarian. Now, when you play different roles in Toastmasters, your active listening skills are tested. Your feedback, the way you present your feedback is tested. Now, if you look at all the skills that you would gain by going through these roles, your communication, your feedback, your manager feedback. So everything that you can do in your workplace gets mapped to any one of these roles. When I joined Toastmasters, I was already a project manager giving client presentations, traveling abroad, meeting clients. And I thought, what would Toastmasters give to me? But I still joined Toastmasters because my boss, who was from Singapore, who said that it's a great movement, you need to be part of it. It will definitely help in your career. So I joined there to improve on my personal side. I wanted to be an entertaining speaker who can talk without being very tense, who can talk about any topic. But while I was practicing that skill, what happened was that on my professional side, I became a more confident speaker. I could just speak much better. I became conscious of the pauses I need to bring in, of all the filler words I was using, how to fit my speech into a specific time. Even playing the role of a master of ceremony, you manage the entire event. So if you're hosting an event, you're hosting a conference, the time management, the pre-preparation, the dry runs you run, everything has a format in Toastmasters. And I've learned more about my leadership skills by being a role player than even being a speaker. So speaking is definitely what you are in for, but the takeaways are the role players as well. Networking is another important factor you get when you join Toastmasters. You get to meet people at different levels, different ages, from different domain, and you get to interact. So Sruthy was presenting a topic today about how our life events changed her. Tomorrow, there might be someone who's sharing a topic about some domain that they are working in. So you get to hear from a lot of people about their experiences, and you learn. There's always a learning from a Toastmaster meeting. If nothing, you would have learned a new word today, bamboozled, to add to your vocabulary. You would have heard a lot of idioms that the grammarian picked up and put it across for us. So there's a lot of learning. Now, this is the hierarchy of what happens in a club. You are part of a club. A club belongs to an area. I am also an area director for Trivandrum. There are 4 clubs under my area: Trivandrum Toastmasters, Anantapuri Toastmasters, Technopark Toastmasters, and UST Toastmasters. And we have 2 types of club: a corporate club, which is only for corporates, and you have employees of a company being exclusive members of the club, or you have a community club where it's open to public. Technopark Toastmasters is a quasi corporate club where we are focusing on IT related crowd in a community club. Now, my area belongs to the division. Division goes to district. We are in 121 district, which is Kerala and Karnataka, and it all ties to the Toastmasters International, and the world headquarters is in US. Now, when you join up Toastmasters, there are different pathways that you can choose. A pathway tells you which skill you want to improve, and all your projects and all your assignments and your speaking projects are aligned to that. So you could take up something on dynamic leadership, coaching, humor, planning, motivational strategy, leadership. There are 11 streams that you can choose. And when you sign up for Toastmasters, we do an evaluation of what skills do you have and what do you need to work on, and you can choose your path accordingly. And you can complete your projects in stages so that there is an incremental learning at each stage. You can complete 5 levels in this path, and then you would have mastered that path and you would be called a path breaker. Now, how do you take membership? Membership for Toastmasters is in dollars. We pay directly to Toastmasters International. It is $45 for 6 months. Now, we do the mental max. Okay, that's 3,000 rupees for 6 months. Should I spend so much on public speaking and leadership? Now, here is something interesting that Sreeja had shared with us. I think that's why it's so good. I've wanted to share with you. Now, 3,600 for 6 months comes down to 500 per month, and per meeting, you are spending less than 150 rupees. Pause and look at the amount you would spend on Swiggy for one Friday evening. Definitely, you can spend much more than that for yourself, can't you? When you compare it with what you spent for your tummy, I think a little bit for yourself is also affordable, of course, definitely. I come back to the first picture. You are what you practice daily. So it's like a gym membership. Having a gym membership and not using it, you're not going to be fit. You have to use it. Taking your Toastmasters membership and turning up in meeting is not enough. You have to speak. You have to be actively involved. Typically, a Toastmasters club has 4 meetings. You can plan your time so that you can at least attend 2 of them, if not all 4. We know we are all busy, but take time to attend at least 2 or 3 meetings. That will give you a significant improvement. With that, I'm stopping my presentation, but if there are any questions that we can do, if you have, then I would like to take them. Can I see a raise of hands if you have any questions? I do not see any. Bhavana, that means everyone is super clear and I've been crystal crisp and super fast. But with that, I thank IBS for helping us host this version of Toastmasters. I would definitely like to see a lot of speakers evolve from this crowd who gathered here. Some of these were already good speakers. You can come here and get into the next level. Imagine, just think about the speakers you saw on board today. They were excellent speakers. You can definitely get into that range. With that note, can I call Bhavana or Ashwin to let us know how the poll went? And
over to you, Ashwin.
Ashwin, I would like to know how many people have liked this meeting and would like to be Toastmasters.
Perfect, perfect. So maybe first we'll start off with announcing the results of who the best table topic speakers were. And it's starting with Cuckoo, who got the most number of likes, and followed with Ashwin, who bamboozled the CFO, and Sharath, for his honest opinions. These are the winners in first, second, and third. Congratulations, guys. Very well done. It was a very interesting bamboozling session. We won't forget that word. Cool. I think that about brings us to the end of the session. And cool.
Do we have anyone who has wanted to be a Toastmaster?
Yes, there is quite a few, at least 10 to 4 people who've given the answer saying that yes, they would like to be a Toastmaster. So they might be reaching out to you quite soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bhavana. You please note. If you have enough people, you can start a club of your own. You need 20 people to start a club of your own, or you're welcome to join Technopark Toastmasters, either way.
Thank you once again to all the Toastmasters who made this event a superb success. We enjoyed it, and we hope that you guys could do this again. That was really good.
Thank you. Thank you. The meeting is officially concluded. Thank you so much. But I would like those who have time to share your feedback, come on video and share how you have enjoyed this meeting. Can we have you on video? Cuckoo, can we have feedback from you?
Definitely, I was just waiting for some people to get on video. I don't think most people are so happy about coming on video, probably this, because it's the first time, just like me, because I initially was thinking I would not participate. I was quite, thinking I will sit back and observe this time. And I'm sure that's what most people are doing today. But yes, this has definitely been a really good experience. Unlike what I expected. I was expecting, over the top of the world, but it's relatable, it's easy, it's lighter, the topics are lighter, making us feel more confident to come forward and speak even. And I think I would like to see more of this and improve myself going forward. So I definitely will participate. Thank you. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much
Thank
for all
you.
of your time.
Yeah, the beauty of Toastmasters is that when you think that you have learned it all, you come here and you unlearn, and there's always something new to learn. Every single meeting that you stand up and speak, you have some takeaway. Thank you so much, Kuku. You did a brilliant job talking today.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you so much.
Sharath, would you want to share?
Yes, actually, I went to this Toastmasters meeting in Trivandrum, Srimuram Club. So 2 to 3 times I just went as a just a general as a listener. So at that time I attended this table topic sessions and all. Then I got to hear from DC. So I usually just run around him then when is the next Toastmasters meeting to get into that. But unfortunately, I didn't get any time to when that is, then it went to online. After the offline, get to online, so I didn't get any chance to enter into it. So hopefully, I will be able to participate in that.
Absolutely, Sharath. Welcome. We would love to have you as a member for Technopark Toastmasters.
You can leave it to us now to chase Sharath and get him on board.
Adida, Anaka, Durga, do you want to share your feedback? Those of you who spoke and those of you who did not speak, what did you think about the meeting today? Vibha, Adira.
Hello. Yeah, it was a really nice learning experience because I never knew that I used the word "be" a lot. But yeah, that was inadvertently, it always came out. So, and my mom always says that I speak really fast. So I tried to, control my speed of speaking this time. So I was glad I could complete well within the time limit. And I could also I was really encouraged by the way Sruthy spoke, because I always thought that speaking was just, speaking about something that came to your mind. But this is just more than that. You have all these expressions and way of delivering your speech, which makes the audience stuck on you. Like they just don't concentrate anywhere else except to what the speaker is saying. And I also like the way, I don't remember his name, the person who judged her,
Evaluator,
yeah, he also, he looked at all the nuances of how she speak and how it can be bettered and stuff. So it means that there's a lot of scope for learning. So I'm a person who believes that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're not in the right room. So there's always a lot to learn from other people. So I look forward to, more such events. So thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you for
Bhavana,
having.
please show her the door to the bigger room, Technopark Toastmasters Club.
She's in my team, so she'll get to hear it often, every day.
Durga and Anaka and Hari. Hi, Pasumai. You have been quiet. Yeah. Anaka, Durga, Hari. Sebastian, or are you also logged into another meeting like we typically do? One Zoom here and one Teams there. All right. I think thanks, Ashwin. I forgot to extend the invitation to Ashwin Jacob. Please join Toastmasters as the champion from IBS. Bhavana, please allow him to join. I think you are not allowing him to join. Please let him be a champion.
I call him in Malayalam Mike Miringi. So he's like, you put him anyway, he will speak so well. And so I was telling him, you just join, look at DC. DC also used to speak so well earlier also, but now he is in Toastmasters and he's winning prizes over prizes. So I was telling Ashwin that he must also join and give his speeches. He's a very good orator. He's a very good storyteller, and I would love to have him on Toastmasters. So no stopping from my side. So I might have all my team members up there if I could.
Okay. So if you're a good speaker already, Ashwin, your trajectory will be very different in Toastmasters. You start with a different level, you get into a different trajectory. Your skills that might come out might be networking, contesting. For what we know, you might be the next world champion for public speaking. All right.
So we need these people now to represent Technopark Toastmasters in the international global
And
arena.
we should be able to say, Bhavana and Arathi nudged me to be the Toastmaster.
Yes, yes, that's important.
In your acceptance speech, you should say that.
Yeah.
All right.
And I would like to quickly add, Sruthy, I was very touched with your speech. It was not just entertaining, and there were a lot of humor and a lot of things in there, a lot of small little aspects. But then the biggest thing or the best thing that I liked, it was touching. You know, there were small little things that you mentioned about your family and how you, moved from one to another. Though you were smiling, trying to have humor wound around that, but then I found it really touching, and it was indeed one of the best speeches I've seen on Toastmasters. So thank you very much for that, and loved it. Would love to hear you more.
Thank you, Bhavana.
Thank you. Great show, my team. Sreeja, lovely table topics. I think everybody was comfortable, and the way you handled it, smiled and engaged with these people, lovely. And Dileep, prankster of the day. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we can officially close this. Thank you. And let's meet in Technopark Toastmasters with more members. Bhavana, now it's on you.
Thank you very much. At least I should start participating more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.